One of the movies they have been trying to get going and get rolling for a long time. They've tried several different times. They've had no less than 5 different lead actors, 3 different directors, and all that kind of stuff. Is a Crow reboot. They've been trying to get this thing done for a long time. Came within weeks of starting production last, with Jason Momoa set to play the lead role. That, of course, then fell apart. But now, and it looked like it was done forever, but now according to reports coming out, they're saying that the Crow reboot is back in development and we could be getting another one. Now, Sony apparently is no longer attached. Jason Momoa is clearly no longer attached. There's not really a lot of details on it. But apparently they have not given this thing up. They still want to try to get this thing made. More power to them. That's great and everything. But, I mean, look, to me, I've got a couple of issues here. Number one, I'm okay with trying to reboot anything. I really am. I reboot Star Wars, reboot Lord of the Rings. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care because I'll always have the originals. It's fine. But at some point, don't you just cut your losses and say, enough? I mean, they have tried so many times to get this thing going. It never gets a lot of buzz. People are never tremendously excited about it. There's always a little bit of controversy surrounding the Brandon Lee thing about whether you should even redo it or not and all that kind of stuff. And it just seems like they have tried this again and again and again. And I feel like, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this. I'm just saying, I feel like every time this comes up again, I feel like the excitement for it or anticipation for it goes down every single time. Like I remember the first time they mentioned there could be doing a Crow reboot, a lot of buzz, a lot of attention. Then that went away. Then they brought in I can't remember, I think it was Luke Evans was next up. And people kind of got excited about it. And then that fell apart and went away. And then, they went to another guy, the guy who was in Boardwalk Empire. And I can't remember the actor's name.
Which one?
He was also in the Ben-Hur remake. He was
Jack Houston.
Yes, Jack Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Then Jack
Houston. We also
Houston,
have the same manager.
Oh, do you? I did not know.
Yes.
But then he was attached to Davina for a while.
Okay.
And interest, but not as much. And then Jason Momoa, would you think that would have blown the doors off, and maybe would have. And there was some attention to it, but I feel like there's been a law of diminishing returns. I just feel like give this up. Come back to it in 5 or 10 years if you want to take a shot at it. I just think we have seen that this is not going to work. Let it go. But I don't know. Watch. Now it comes out, wins an Academy Award. Aaron, you hear that they are going to try to give this whole Crow reboot thing another go. Good idea? Bad idea? What do you think?
Well, not to get too hocus pocus on it, but is there a chance that this franchise is just cursed? I agree with you.
Others have suggested it.
I mean, I'm just saying, I kind of feel like it might be, and not in a bad way, just in a, you know what? Yes, we're just going to let this one go. Not that it shouldn't be done, not that because of the tragedy surrounding the Brandon Lee incident that it should not be done for any sort of moral issues. But yeah, there just does seem to be sort of something that's just kind of not allowing things to push forward. And when you say they are trying to do it, who is the they? Who is who is the entity that is, because you said Sony's not involved anymore.
Right.
And I'm just curious, is it the original writer? Is it the original? I'm just curious who continues to try to resurrect.
Right. Well, right now, the way the report is listed is Davis Films, Highland Film Group, and Electric Shadow, who had previously had deals in place to finance and distribute the film, are still involved. But Momoa, Hardy, the previous director on board, and likely Sony Pictures are all out. So
I like Momoa.
I love Momoa.
I love him. I think he's phenomenal. I don't think he's emo enough for The Crow. I feel like The Crow has a certain degree. Like, I want to see... I mean, I hate to say this. I kind of want to see a scrawny dude play the Crow. Like a scrawny but real, tough.
Right.
Like somebody who could do a lot of fights, but is a little bit more... I want to see someone that has a little bit more acrobatic skills.
Agile, maybe?
Agile. That is correct. Yes. Momoa has a really wonderful thing that he does. But he's like, he comes in there like the Kool-Aid man. He's like the Rock. You know, he's a hardy boy. I want to see, I want to see someone a little bit more emo, a little bit more agile. yay for the skinny boys.
Houston, they could have had that with Houston.
Jack Houston definitely has a good emo.
Don't get me wrong, Luke Evans, totally in shape guy, but a more streamlined physique.
I'm blanking on who Luke Evans is.
Oh, Luke Evans. Okay, so he was the villain in one of the Fast and Furious movies. He's Jason Statham's character's brother in the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
He also played Zeus in the Henry Cavill movie, Immortals, I think was the name of it.
Okay.
He was also in the Three Musketeers. He also, he's done a bunch. I really like Luke Evans a lot.
Okay.
And he kind of flirted with Anne once.
Oh, hey.
Yes. True story.
Nothing wrong with a handsome man flirting with your wife, just to let you know you got a good one.
Yeah. True story. Some of you guys might have heard the story before. So I was doing the press junket for, I can't remember if it was Immortals or if it was another. No, it was one of his like little darker horror films that he was doing. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I went to the junket and I got to go to his hotel room because every cast member had a different hotel room and you'd go in and do an interview.
Right.
And it was one of those things where I had to bring my own cameraman.
Uh-huh.
And Anne wanted to meet him.
Hey there.
Yeah. Luke's a handsome dude. Luke is a handsome dude.
If he flirted with Tom, I'd be like, yes.
Here's the thing. So
wow.
Anne really wanted to meet him because she was a fan too. So I said, well, why don't you come and just be my camera person for it? Right? So she goes, can I? I said, yeah, you just come in. All you got to do is really point the camera at us and hit record. So she's okay. So we go there.
She quietly slips off her wedding band.
So we go in. Here's the thing. We go in and we meet him and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be interviewing you. But I looked like the cameraman and Anne looked like the person doing the interview, right?
Got it.
And he said, oh, she's the cameraman. I said, yeah. He said, she's the most attractive cameraman I've ever seen. And I said, and Anne is like, blushing. And I said, well, dude, you've got really great taste. Anne's actually also my wife.
And literally at that point, Anne's like, shut up, John.
So we go through, do the interview. It was great. Luke was awesome. He was funny and it was engaging. We talked for like 15, 20 minutes. So
He's British?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
he looks like a Brit.
He leaves the room and Anne and I I go to start packing the camera down and I turn and look at Anne and her face is, I'm like, what? Her words to me were, why must you ruin everything for me?
I mean, you cock blocked. I get it that she's your wife, but you knew that nothing was going to happen. You could have at least drawn the flirtation out just a little bit.
It was funny, though. It was funny. He was great, although he was so great and charming and wonderful. I like him a lot. And if he was coming back to do, The Crow, I'd be down, but I just feel like they've tried. It's time to move on. Guys, question is, what do you think about this whole thing about a Crow reboot? Do you think, no, listen, we've been waiting for this Crow reboot. Do it. Or are you thinking kind of like I am? It's like, guys, you have tried this so many times. It's just time to let it go. How do you feel about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.